Here with Frank Curtis, Marketing Director at Nixon. Nixon, known as a good traditional breed of good varieties for British farmers. What should we be looking out for this year?
If we look at winter wheat to start with, varieties like Solstice in Group 1, Einstein in Group 2, Alchemy in Group 4, and the new varieties Ebony in Group 3, which are all currently in the market, are probably as good as anything that's a new introduction this year. So I think it's probably for wheat growers a year of consolidation rather than new ventures.
This year, very dry spring and very warm, and now I hope we hope not right now, but a wet May. And so obviously, well, is the climate changing? How do variety breeders see this?
This is actually giving the breeders a bit of a problem because different varieties perform well in different circumstances. So what we're having to do actually is when we submit varieties to official trials, we probably need to put in twice as many as we used to because of the variability in summer conditions.
Variety breeders increasingly having to take a global perspective. I mean, in the future, are we going to be growing European varieties rather than British ones? Maybe even world varieties?
We have a wide range of germplasm from all over the world under test at several sites in the UK. And in spite of the fact that we have a gradual climate change taking place, the type of varieties that are performing in the UK isn't differing widely from what we've seen. Of course, the UK demands for quality, such as our bread-making, biscuit-making markets and our malting barley markets, are really quite specific in their variety requirements. It means that continental varieties are not always going to be that suitable. What we are doing, though, is taking germplasm from places as far apart as South America, Australasia, Northern Europe, Arctic Europe, and actually picking the best traits out of those varieties to incorporate into our own program to give us the diversity we need.
Right, so as a British farmer, I'm still going to get good old Nixon British bred varieties, but they may have foreign traits in them. It's going to make me be able to face up to the challenges of possibly more difficult growing conditions, but also more optimism that arable farmers feel that they're sort of on the front foot of prices.
Wheat is 20% higher than it was this time last year, rape is 6% higher, but vegetable protein, peas and beans, 54% higher than it was this time last year. And that's on the back largely of the reduced soybean acreage in the Americas, where they're all growing maize for bioethanol production, less soybeans, push the price up. And quite interestingly, we're standing here in front of a plot of Marapat peas. If you do your gross margin calculations now on break crops, the most profitable break crop for this year, or for the next year, looks like being Marapat peas.
I hope this time next year I'm as big as you and you're telling me the same thing about these heights of commodity prices.
I hope they carry on going up. The more money farmers make, the more likely they are to buy seed off us.
Well, we'll both drink to that. On that note, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Vitti, the recommended list manager at the HGCA. Jim, what have we learnt about varieties in the last 12 months?
Obviously, for growers' minds at the moment, particularly in eastern England, rust, brown rust and yellow rust have been the real major issues in growing the crop. It's very easy, though, to react to what you see this season and to forget that really rusts are a problem, but a controllable problem in most seasons, and it's Septoria tritici, which is an aged disease which controls yields. So really, fundamentally, you should be looking for varieties with good Septoria tritici resistance and not get too hung up just in what's happened this season.
Since the Vice Chairman of NFU Sugar Beet Committee, William, quite a tumultuous 12 months for sugar beet growers.
The biggest event of the last 12 months has been the dramatic drop in price of sugar beet. We have seen sugar beet prices come down by 40%, and we are now looking at why should we be growing sugar beet on our farms, and at the same time the price of grain is going up, so the alternatives are looking more attractive.
And so where do you see prices over the next 12 months for beet?
But the price levels for sugar beet are fixed for the next two campaigns at the level that we saw announced when we concluded our agreement with British Sugar 12 months ago. What's much more interesting is, will growers continue to grow at those prices, or will British Sugar be forced to look again at the profitability of sugar beet growing compared to other things? But I think that the UK is ahead of the game in terms of the structure of our industry, and we are in a position to compete if our processor can share the margins with us. If not, growers will vote with their feet.
Well, thanks for that, and here's for a good season this year.
Thank you, guys.